queens, it's your girl Faith, and I'm here with another video for y'all. So if you're new, you already know the deal. Please subscribe to this channel. Before I even get into the video, go back and subscribe because I will be consistent with my droppings for you guys. So to my family that is back again, welcome back. I'm glad to have y'all. As y'all can already tell by the title of the video, I decided to do a video on jobs that are really good to really kickstart your nursing career, whether you have experience in healthcare or not. So these jobs, and it's going to be a little bit of tips and advice in for you guys, but mainly the jobs that are available that some people don't even know what they can apply to. You know, some people get discouraged with the preferred qualifications for jobs, but that does not mean you can't apply. So yeah, so we're gonna jump right into the video, and yeah, let's go. All right, so I did make a list for y'all. So I'm gonna start off with the list, and yeah. So the first thing I wrote down was patient transport. That is mainly in the hospital. If not, I think that's the only place you can apply to be a patient transporter. So with this job in particularly, you are basically transporting the patient within the facility. So for example, you may take a patient to their x-ray to get ready for a certain procedure. You may take them up back to their room coming from a procedure, and you may do this, transport the patient in a wheelchair, in their bed, on a stretcher. It just depends on the patient's movement. How are they able to move, and the procedure as well, that depends on that too. You may take them to dialysis, chemo. It depends, y'all. It's a lot of different things, but for a patient transporter, you don't have to have any healthcare experience, so that is something that you could kickstart your nursing career with. It would definitely be beneficial for you, especially in that facility that you will be working at. You'll know where everything is. So yeah, that's just a good job to keep in mind. You won't be involved with any other patient's family if you're thinking about like, well, I don't want to be too involved with the patient. So that patient transporter may be something you should look into, because it's very limited patient contact. I mean, you're with them when you take them, and then you take them back, and that's it. The next thing I have is phlebotomist. That is a person that draws blood. So they do hire those in in the hospital. They even have primary care centers that has these positions, but for phlebotomy, you do have to get certified to be a phlebotomist. And with this position, it'll help you clarify that you can handle needles, you can draw blood from people, and things of that nature. So that would definitely help you in nursing school. If you're a person that does not like needles, this job is not for you. Next thing is patient care tech, aka CNA, patient care attendant. We're all the same thing. So most hospitals use patient tech or patient care tech. So with this certification, you do not have to have a lot of requirements. So some, depending on the hospital policies or protocols, you may have to have CNA, or they may give you time to get a CNA. So you may not have to have them, because I know some places offer a patient care tech residency program. So therefore, they will hire you to take the residency program. You get certified through that way, and you could become a tech on the floor. So with the tech, they really do everything to assist with the nurse. So if you're looking to go to nursing school and looking to kickstart your nursing career, this is definitely something I would highly recommend to go ahead and start working in, being a patient care tech, because you will be surrounded by nurses and you are working side to side with nurses basically. So you will be able to see and witness and learn a lot in that particular setting. So as a nurse, you get to take the patient's vital signs. You can, it depends on the hospital, but at my hospital, we are able to check their blood sugars. I can't, me personally, well, not personally, but I guess the hospital, I can remove IVs, but I cannot put them in. You know, you can charting their inputs and outputs depending on the patient. It's a lot more stuff, you know, bathing the patients. I mean, that's just the overall view. It of course is more, but that's just the main view. I know at my particular job, I have to do bladder scans for patients who are not having a output of urine. So, you know, you don't want your patient bladder to burst, so you have to do a bladder scan to avoid all those problems. But in the long run, when you get hired, you will be trained with a tech to be taught the things that they do there. And so it's not like you'll be jumping in by yourself trying to figure everything out. They will definitely help you, and you will be I don't know if everybody gets a thing where they're signed off, but you do get cleared and checked off for the things that you have learned before you're on your own. So just keep in mind, patient care tech is definitely something most nursing students work as while in nursing school and even approaching nursing school, just to see if that's really something you want to do. You get to see the nurses task and job and your own, and see if that's something you can handle. With these positions, I do want y'all to keep in mind, as a nursing student, I would not recommend it's totally up to you, but I would not recommend working full-time, just because the material that you'll be learning in nursing school will be hefty, and you want to make sure you're retaining that information, putting time aside to actually study, but also putting time aside to give yourself rest and let your body rest, because it will be a lot of information and work. So that school on top of work, it can be a lot. So I would highly recommend trying the positions and applying to positions that offer PRN, which means as needed, and or part-time. So with part-time, you know, you in a hospital, it's only like 2 12-hour shifts a week. And for PRN, it depends on the hospital policies. You may have, for mine is 4 shifts in a 6-week period. So some hospitals may have, like, you do 6 12-hour shifts in a 6-week period, or 6 12-hour shifts in an 8-week period. So, or they may do a 4-week period where you have to have 4 12-hour shifts in a 4-week period. So it just depends on the hospital or the facility that you'll be working at when it comes to how many hours a week you will be given or have to complete. The PRN is something that's more flexible for people that are busy. The next one is patient safety sitter. So you do not have to have any experience, again, with this one. So a patient safety sitter is someone who sits with one patient to make sure they are not a harm to themselves. So sometimes the patient, depending on the patient's history or reason of being an inpatient, it could be they're suicidal, it could be they've had a fall, or it could be, you know, various diagnoses where the patient is not in safe hand. The patient is not safe when they're alone. They are a harm to themselves and possibly to other people. So as a patient safety sitter, you will be there to basically sit or get whatever that patient need in the room, and you stay beside that patient the whole entire time. So with being a patient safety sitter, you really have to be alert, because sometimes you know, patients may try to be sneaky or do things they know they should not be doing. Now in a hospital, when you are handling suicidal patients, nothing must be in a room. You know, you can't have anything in a room. You must not be on your phone, of course. And you are to document in a hospital when you are sitting for patients, whether they're a safety sitter or a 1013, which is the suicidal. You will document every 15 minutes the behavior and the location of that patient. So if they're in the bathroom, you will doc that down at that time. Or if the patient was eating while watching TV, in the back in their room, you will doc that as well. So documentation for safety sitters is very important, but also for the patient care tech and the phlebotomist as well. So the next position I have is a unit secretary. A unit secretary is the work desk assistant that's basically on any unit of the floor. So you may have a unit secretary on mother baby floor. You may have a unit secretary on ICU, IMCU, the ED, and so forth. So with this particular position, like I said, minimum healthcare experience. You may not even have to have any, it just depends on the hospital requirements. But for this particular position, you are answering calls. Some unit secretaries are able to make the charts and the schedules for the particular unit floor. They are able to transfer the phones, and some hospitals have trackers for the workers and match the patients to the workers who will be covering the set of patients. You will also handle discharges for patients that may be getting transmitted to a facility or a rehab center. So with the unit secretary, yeah, you're just handling the front desk. You will answer the phone calls. Sometimes people may call up to check on patients, and you may have to make sure they have that PIN code and so forth. You're answering questions for people. May have to, you know, assist with the bed controls if beds are missing or we need a certain bed in a room, or if something is broken. Unit secretary will know what to tell you to do and how to handle those things. Most unit secretaries I know, they are still in scrubs like the patient care tech, and in some hospitals they're able to cross-train you to be a unit secretary, a patient care tech, and a sitter at the same facility. So just keep those in mind. If you able to branch yourself out when you're in a hospital, I will say you can definitely grow while working inside of a hospital. The next one is a Telerunner. So a Telerunner is a person that goes around the hospital and distribute and put on heart monitors on patients. So that is a real, it sounds like an easy job, but it's a very important job. So for those requirements, it depends on the hospital again and what they're looking for. But again, this is a position I would definitely say look into if you're interested in learning about cardiac and things of those natures. But even in a nursing career, Telerunner is a position that is available for people in the hospital. The next one is similar to Telerunner, but it's an overview, including Telerunner, is a all right, y'all. So the next one includes a Telerunner and is Telemetry Tech. So that is a tech that handles the heart monitors. So a lot of times in hospitals, you are in this room with other people and you guys are watching screens of the patients who have on heart monitors. So it is a very important job. It may sound easy, but you literally have to be watching that screen from the moment you clock in until it's time for you to leave. So it's a very disciplined job. You have to be able to focus, make sure you keeping your eyes on those patients with heart monitors. Little to no requirements. So of course they have their preferred requirements and qualifications, but just make sure you do your research on the particular hospital you will be applying to, and it'll help with nursing career for sure. The next one I have is a medical scribe. So I wanted to leave this one kind of last, I guess, because this one will really be helpful in the long run for doctors, people who will see themselves at least extending far beyond an RN. However, they do have nurse care team assistants that that can be hired through being a scribe as well. So with a scribe, those are the people who chart for the doctors. So you will be hand in hand with a physician. That is a very cool job in my opinion too, but it's more towards being in the long run of becoming a physician. So if you know you don't want to like be a doctor, or if it's something you want to try out, I will say you really learn a lot of terminology. You see a lot, you really visualize and get to witness things and match it, and you're able to ask the doctors questions about what you don't understand or like things of that. So a scribe is definitely cool. You learn a lot. Even though you're charting for the doctor, you need to know what you're charting for the doctor. So it's a very cool job in my opinion, and it's something I would still recommend for you. So the last one I do have for you guys is EMT. That is a emergency medical technician. So with this one, you do have to be EMT certified, but however, it's not hard, and you know, you do have to learn how to, you have to get the license to drive that particular vehicle. So with this one, you know, you're transporting patients to and from facilities and things of that nature, being able to check their vitals. You'll see a lot of things being an EMT. You're the first person on scene when it comes to saving the patient or assisting with that patient, unless they're, you know, leaving the hospital going somewhere else. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so those are all of the positions that I think would be very helpful for people who are looking to see if nursing is something for you, or if you are just looking to gain that experience. For my people who already have CNAs, these jobs will help you, and particularly patient care tech is a job where you can use your CNA license, and I want to say patient safety sitter as well. So, you know, with a CNA, you do have to have a certain number of hours before it expires. So keep in mind with that, I would recommend trying the patient care tech. Like I said, you're able to cross train according to the hospital protocols and things of that nature. But yeah, so those are my recommendations for positions for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it very helpful. I do have another video over CNAs that I will do for you guys. I will be dropping very, very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. You already know what the deal is. Make sure you guys already have subscribed to this channel if you have not already. And I will see you guys on the next video.